that change from taking a lot of water to very little water, summer and winter, the soil finds it very difficult to cope. And how can we prove that that's the case? Well, we run track monitoring trains over the track regularly, measuring the line and the level of the track to ensure that it's as straight and as level as possible. And it's shown that over the past 5 or 6 years, we've had quite some significant movements in there. We've also, in the embankment, had inclinometers and piezometers. They measure how much the bank itself is tilting and what the water levels are in the embankment. And they've shown me the movements that I just explained to you earlier. We've had geotechnical structural engineering reports done, and they've detailed that the embankment has bulges and movement features, and has also highlighted that there are old retaining structures on the embankment that have now failed. And also another key point is that the electric masts, the foundations and the structures and the trees on the bank were all showing obvious signs of leaning. An additional issue was that in the 1970s there was 2 significant events, which were bank fires on the track, and in some places the clay burned, and it's now in some places up to 5 metres of structureless ashy material rather than being an engineering clay. In order to counter that, we've been monitoring and lifting the bank regularly to keep the track straight, and the weight of the fresh, clean ballast is actually making the embankment effectively become top heavy, and we're losing the embankment down the slope. I'm told by the people who run the electrification masts that some of them have tilted so much that they're at the very end of the travel that they've got to keep the electric mast straight, and we're almost at the point where we'll have to replace the masts to ensure that the trains as they go over will keep registration and not lose power. What are we proposing to do? We need to remove the root cause of the seasonal movement. We're consolidating the loose ash material, and we're providing additional support to the track by placing of granular material and regrading the slopes to an even, shallower slope. There's a significant amount of Japanese knotweed on the site, which is migrated along the track. That's an injurious weed, and we're removing that, taking it off-site to landfill. And the completed works will protect the bank from damage by rabbits and other burrowing animals. What are the risks if we don't do the work? Well, if we don't do the work, there's a serious risk of track faults, and we can only counter them by either restricting the speed or closing the line, and that's both the London bound and the country bound trains. If we left the trees in place, there was a risk of them falling over, either onto the track or across the boundary. And most seriously, there would have been a risk of derailment. Thank you.
But the question is it about the express trains coming through freight train? Is that the real reason for the works?
No. It's safety. If I can explain, the track is 75 miles per hour speed limit. That's the running speed of the line, and it's the RA9 rated, which route availability 9, which means it has sufficient capacity for almost the heaviest freight available, and that's limited by, I believe there are 2 bridges on the route between Pally and Stevenage, which limit the freight capacity of the line. But other than that, it's, you know, the highest freight capacity is RA10, and this route stands at RA9 and at 75 miles per hour limit.
Hello, I'm Chris McDaid, I'm the project manager, and I can just assure everybody that the primary objective of this scheme is purely on the grounds of safety. There has been no work relating to an increase in any kind of traffic, freight or otherwise, relating to this scheme. This particular work has been in Network Rail, has a work bank where information from our maintenance teams come into the engineering department. The engineering department then decide on what engineering solution Network Rail will put together so that the track can perform to the specification that it has been designed to perform. And as Martyn said, this is RA9 track, 75 miles an hour. Network Rail have a duty to keep that track available for route availability 9 stock to run at 75 miles an hour. That's our job. This particular location had been analysed and a solution had been put into place, the best engineering solution that we as a project team could come up with, and we are in the start of the scheme.